The power sector, together with listing on the Philippine Stock Exchange, has enabled Vivant to expand our energy investments beyond distribution into both power generation and retail electricity. We are supporting national development with our investments in conventional and renewable power generation, balancing the energy needs of our nation today with a sustainable future for our children. These generation investments range in type and scale from conventional solutions, like the nation's largest diesel plant, to a smaller scale innovative solutions, such as one of the first diesel solar hybrids in the Philippines. Vivant is a pioneer and one of the biggest investors in small power utilities groups. These off-grid investments are vital in creating growth opportunities for island communities beyond the reach of the national grid. Open access has enabled Vivant to expand into contestable retail markets and allowed us to offer competitive power alternatives. Individual clients can either restructure their existing power plants through our subsidiary retail energy suppliers or create their own power through our rooftop solar installations. Our willingness to introduce new ideas extends to our community partnerships through Vivant CSR activities, where our contribution in education focuses on science and technology to drive innovation forward in the communities in which we work. Looking to the future, our ability to be a reliable partner, willing to explore relevant technologies, and adapt to market circumstances will continue to be the secret to our success in every aspect of the energy sector. As we expand beyond power, our business model of foresight, cooperation, and adaptability will always push us forward. Vivant, solutions for a changing world.
Awkward when you're bustling through the city, at work, or sweating it out. And just when you think you're doing things in style, the right moment can easily take the wrong turn. New GT Cosmetics Deodorant guarantees the freshness and confidence that you need to make it through the day, so that you're ready to make every moment the right moment.
The future of communication. All in the hands of Aerophones.
Kids, both gadgets, digital stuff. Got everything you need. We're always in the lead in this high technology life. It goes beyond a doubt. It's what we're all about. Get ready now. Hey now, step into the world of advanced communication. Let's groove to a brand new beat of the digital connection.
Disengage.
Imagine having technology that lets you grow your business right at your fingertips, where a single click can give you full access to your business and to the world. No need to imagine further. At Eastern Communications, we take care of your IT needs while you focus on what matters most to your business. Our business products and services are specifically designed to guarantee your business success in lesser time. Experience seamless business-to-business data exchange throughout the country and the world with our reliable data services. Our domestic data services ensure you with a stable delivery of private data across internal organizations and remote branches. If you're expanding business horizons, our international data services are perfect in securing private exchange of data between domestic and international sites. Whatever your internet needs, our customized packages got you covered for a smooth running operation and easier access to various applications. With our dedicated internet services, varying bandwidth needs and network delays will never be a problem anymore because we provide businesses with the best routes to ensure high-speed connectivity. If you're performing basic business operations, our shared internet services provide the stable and consistent connectivity that you need. Transform the way your business communicates, whether through our traditional voice services or modern voice solutions. When you upgrade your voice operations to IP-based telephony, you can instantly accelerate transactions and manage calls cost-effectively. But if you're looking for something simple and practical, nothing can go wrong with traditional telephony, which can handle up to 30 voice channels simultaneously. Plus, you get better voice quality and clearer reception. You can bring out the best in any plan when you avail our exclusive managed services that provide personalized assistance to your specific IT needs. Through our software-defined wide area network service, you can keep multiple branches connected to real-time information all at the same time. Want to improve internal operations without spending much? No worries. Our affordable value-added services ensure that you get additional boost on top of your plan. Give your business the much-needed protection it needs by keeping critical information in a highly secured data center facility operated by professional engineers 24/7. Our cloud service gets you ahead in business by equipping you with the proper tools towards the digital transformation of your business. Greater connection equals greater security risks? Not when you subscribe to our game-changing Eastern Cyber Defense Services. We protect the data of your business and customers 24/7, so you can have greater peace of mind at every step of the way. With our website protection service, cyber threats are automatically detected and blocked in real time. Building customers' trust is a must. So we also ensure there's high security in the personal information and transaction of your customers. Let us do all the work so you can just focus on growing your business even more. So next time you come across problems with your connection, partner with Eastern. Because our language is solutions. Talk to us today. All it takes is that one connection, our strong connection. Eastern Communications.
I'm a principal engineer at Lexmark. My primary work is to deliver the best motherboard design for our world-class printers. I like working for Lexmark because it provides me the opportunity to design real high-end projects, and that is a rare opportunity in the Philippines. Aside from that opportunity, Lexmark is also a good place to grow. You are surrounded by great engineers who are world-class in talent and at the same time willing to help you grow in your career.
Every day is different. Every day brings new challenges, new opportunities, and new possibilities. At Vivant, we embrace change because we know that to succeed in the energy sector, we need to be a strong investment partner, a partner who takes time to listen, a partner who provides solutions that benefit everyone, and a partner who can adapt to a changing world. Vivant's story began in 1879 as an abaca trading company. In the 1920s, the company that would become Vivant entered into the power industry with the purchase of the Visayan Electric Company. VECO now stands as the second largest power utility in the Philippines, supporting a population of 1.73 million and the fastest growing economy in the country. Deregulation of the power sector, together with listing on the Philippine Stock Exchange, has enabled Vivant to expand our energy investments beyond distribution into both power generation and retail electricity. We are supporting national development with our investments in conventional and renewable power generation, balancing the energy needs of our nation today with a sustainable future for our children. These generation investments range in type and scale from conventional solutions, like the nation's largest diesel plant, to a smaller scale innovative solutions, such as one of the first diesel solar hybrids in the Philippines. Vivant is a pioneer and one of the biggest investors in small power utilities groups. These off-grid investments are vital in creating growth opportunities for island communities beyond the reach of the national grid. Open access has enabled Vivant to expand into contestable retail markets and allowed us to offer competitive power alternatives. Individual clients can either restructure their existing power plants through our subsidiary retail energy suppliers or create their own power through our rooftop solar installations. Our willingness to introduce new ideas extends to our community partnerships through Vivant CSR activities, where our contribution in education focuses on science and technology to drive innovation forward in the communities in which we work. Looking to the future, our ability to be a reliable partner, willing to explore relevant technologies, and adapt to market circumstances will continue to be the secret to our success in every aspect of the energy sector. As we expand beyond power, our business model of foresight, cooperation, and adaptability will always push us forward. Vivant, solutions for a changing world.
Awkward when you're bustling through the city, at work, or sweating it out. And just when you think you're doing things in style, the right moment can easily take the wrong turn. New GT Cosmetics Deodorant guarantees the freshness and confidence that you need to make it through the day, so that you're ready to make every moment the right moment.
The future of communication. All in the hands of Aerophones.
Gizmos, gadgets, digital stuff. Got everything you need. We're always in the lead in this high technology life. It goes beyond a doubt. It's what we're all about. Get ready now. Hey now, step into the world of advanced communication. Aerophones. Let's groove to a brand new beat of the digital connection.
Disengage.
Imagine
pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang mag-ibig, ewas na silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dikit mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, kuyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisipin, sa nagatang tulong sa piling, ayan sa langit mo pagaw, ay hinatang tulang, awit sa pagkayang minamahal, ang isang ng patawad mo'y tagumpay na
Sa mga bahay ng half, ito sa magpakisimpa daw.
kailan pa may magtitingin, luha ng araw ng maraming pagsinta, buhay ang langit sa piling mo. Ang hinigaya na pagkay mga amin, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
A wonderful and exciting afternoon, and hello to all our distinguished guests, speakers, Zoom participants tuning in today. Hi everyone, my name is Mikey Morado and welcome to CBM 2020 Digital Creative Summit virtual launch. I am so excited to be your host for today's online event. By the way, the beautiful video invocation we saw earlier was brought to us by Miss Mary Rose Maghuyo, a member of the Consolacion Council for Culture and the Arts, with special acknowledgement to the Municipality of Consolacion for the filming at the Municipal Hall Amphitheater through the kindness of the City Mayor, Honorable Johannes Alegado. Thank you so much. All right, we are ready, so keep your excitement. And to help us welcome everybody here today, we've got the CBM 2020 Overall Chairman, Mr. Mike Cubos.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to our esteemed speakers, guests, media friends. I'd like to welcome everyone to our event, Cebu Businessman Online Digital Creative Summit. All right, and I'd like to personally welcome our guests. Let's start with Sir Robert Jenkins. And we have Mel Aliego, the president of the Cebu IFF. We have as well our Puyon evangelist, Casey Leong. And another one, Nhi Nhi from Myanmar, Chris Lee. And we have Costis as well. And
Hi.
And we have our CBM lead advisor, Ma'am Lilu Alinio. And most of all, I would like to welcome the Cebu Chamber of Commerce and Industry President, Felix Tagyam. Welcome again, everyone, to our event. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our event. So on behalf of the Cebu Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the Cebu Businessman 2020 working team, it is our great honor and pleasure to welcome you all to the Digital Creative Summit, Bring It Online. So I'm happy to virtually see many of our participants right now, especially here in Zoom and in Facebook Live. So from our different stakeholders, communities, joining us here in this event. I'm also grateful to our partners and sponsors who have invested to make this summit possible. So allow me to specially mention our esteemed speakers from Huyon Evangelist, as mentioned earlier, and from Eastern Communications. So our deep gratitude to you. So over the years, technology has brought about dramatic changes in the world. So we are at a constant turning point where digital shifts are reshaping our economies, our societies, and cultures. Technological innovations such as artificial intelligence, big data, machine learning, blockchain, and the Internet of Things have ushered exponential growth in the digital sector and the rise of the model of digital economy. So digitalization has opened new forms of creativity never before witnessed in the world. And the global pandemic has only highlighted this. So creative expressions now see new forms and new enterprises. So the creative industry is thus a sure winner in this new norm. So inspired today and emboldened by these emerging opportunities. So I hope you are too. Or should I say, you will after engaging in this summit. With that, I once again welcome and thank you all for your attention and for your presence here today. Together, let us bring IT, online digital creative industry. Thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you once again, Sir Mike. I'm sure everyone is very excited to see and hear all our amazing speakers lined up today. And to inspire us even more, we've got the president of the
Yes, Mikey, am I on now? I lost your voice. Yes, okay. Good afternoon to all of you who are live with us here. It gives me great pleasure to speak with you this Saturday afternoon as we mark another milestone for our flagship program, Cebu Businessman 2020, holding today the Digital Creative Summit, Bring It Online. The coronavirus 2019 has sent shockwaves to economies around the world. It has crippled small and large enterprise alike, resulting in heavy losses, closures of business activities, and loss of jobs and for thousands of people. While the curve has flattened in Cebu, COVID-19 in this world is showing no signs of slowing down. We are left with no choice but to adapt to the new normal if we are to resume, reboot, repurpose business operations, and revive our economy. Knowing emerging industries and trends is imperative to survive in this VUCA world. Volatile, uncertain, imperative to survive in the VUCA complex and ambiguous environment. The need to uncover new ways to do things, modify business models, and adapt to the changes that we are now experiencing is innovative. This is what CBM 2020 Digital Creative Summit, Bring It Online, will offer us today. The awakening of Cebu's digital creative industry to achieve greater heights and reach new frontiers never before imagined. For this is creativity, a vision discovered, ingenuity unfurled, and inspiration uncovered. Our CBM 2020 team had worked vigorously to bring top-tier international speakers to whet your appetite today. In today's Bring It On Digital Creative Summit, we are surely uncover new pathways to combat VUCA blues, because this is what digital creativity brings. I am optimistic. The opportunities in the digital creative industry are limitless and will help us out of this problem, rise from this adversity, and bounce back stronger than ever. The Cebu Chamber of Commerce and Industry hope this enabling environment will bring to the creative industry and inspire more champions from our community to join the industry giants with us. Thank you for your presence this afternoon and have a good day. Thank you. Bring it on.
Thank you, Sir Felix.
Thank you.
It's great to have that assurance that the next few minutes will surely be fun and exciting. Isn't it great to be reconnecting with everyone, even if we're doing it virtually for now? And I'm sure we could agree that this Creative Summit is one of the events that people, especially the artists, animators, look forward to yearly to showcase their artworks, creative talents, and many others. And who can better explain more about this summit is none other than the chairperson of the CBM 2020 Digital Creative Industries, Ms. Pichi Fahati.
Good afternoon, everyone. Sir Felix Tagyam, Cebu Chamber of Commerce President, Sir Michael Cubos, CBM 2020 Overall Chair, Robert Jenkins, Founder and CEO of Cloud Sigma, Casey Leung, Regional Marketing Director of Huyon, Mel Aliego, President of Cebu International Film Festival, distinguished evangelists and guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. The CBM 2020 Digital Creative Summit is organized under the banner of the Cebu Chamber of Commerce and Industry to answer the call to action and fast-track the digital creative industry evolution in the community. It is a virtual nationwide digital creative business summit with the theme Bring It Online that brings together an encompassing range of stakeholders, including relevant discords, salon talks, and rapid-fire pitching. Creativity includes innovative product designs, advertising, game development, music, film, animation, and virtual reality. As the digital economy unfurls worldwide, so will the creative industry become an important driver of innovation, competitiveness, and exponential growth. The advances and adoption of digital technologies and business models in the creative industry will enable companies to achieve greater scale, penetrate new markets more swiftly, and capture more customers and client partners. Our goal through this Digital Creative Summit is summed up in 3 points: change mindset, change tools, and build the brand and the business online. Through this collaborative effort, we hope to foster and enhance digital creativity through benchmarking from the experts and thinking out of the box and into the new normal, serving up innovative ways to get creative online, and building our brands through digitalization. It is our intention to bring together a community of local professional animators in Cebu to create opportunities to develop their skills and talents, build a steadfast connection between animators and investors in the industry, and advocate professionalism and excellence. This summit is in gratitude to our sponsors: Eastern Communications, Vivant, GT Cosmetics Manufacturing, and Lexmark, our event partners Huyon, Cebu Animators Guild, Cebu International Film Festival, PLDT, Emotunes Animation Studio, Marie Ernestine School, Lilu Advertising, Performance 360, Aerophone, and Lalamove. Your collective involvement and participation underscores the potential for business and new job opportunities that this sector is expected to create. In addition, we desire to maximize the development impact by bringing more creative juices to effect improvements that brace together the economic growth and development of Cebu. I am confident and honored to be part of this platform where our invited experts will spark interesting discussions as they unfold to you this afternoon in this Creative Summit. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Peachy. So I think this is one of the best virtual events because you can say hi to everyone. So hi to all. And to make sure that we don't lose the presence of our speakers and CBM committee officers and members, I think we should have the virtual photo ops right now. Can we do that now? Okay, let's have the digital virtual photo op. Okay, ready? Smile, 1, 2, 3. Is it done? Are we good? Okay, we're good. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. I'm sure you'll all agree how important it is to have the right tools and techniques to properly communicate in order to grow your business and industry. And we are about to get some tips from our first presenter and get an answer to the question, how seamless communication can help the industry. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a warm welcome to the co-founder and chief executive officer of Cloud Sigma, Mr. Robert Jenkins.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me. In the next 10-15 minutes, I wanted to give you some insights into how we see people collaborating and using technology to help them do that, and give you some examples as well of how that can be achieved. So just really quick background on Cloud Sigma. I founded the company with my co-founder in 2009, and we've grown the company globally now. So we have around 15 locations worldwide. And in the Philippines, we work with Eastern, and we have a location in Manila that we work together on to offer all kinds of cloud services and technology, cloud technology-based services. And we have a very well-established customer base from the Philippines, but also throughout the region in Southeast Asia. And so that's about Cloud Sigma, just so you give a little bit of background of where I'm coming from. Now, when we're talking about collaboration, actually, you know, what you're really talking about, what you're trying to achieve is like informational efficiency. What you want is for be able to share information, and for information to pass around that much more easily. And that's really what's important. And so, you know, the quality of the decisions that you make is based on the quality of the information that you have, clearly. So the more information you have, the better information, then the chances are you're going to make better decisions. And so when we're talking about collaborating, and this is, you know, it's relevant if you're inside a large organization and you have, you know, departments and kind of a vertical structure with managers and everything. But it's also relevant if you're an independent creative person who might be liaising with such a company, or liaising with other creative people in a, you know, much more sort of fluid sense. And so what you're trying to do, and what technology can help you to do, is to basically try and create this frictionless information flow so that you can collaborate and share information and ideas, and obviously your creations, that much more easily. And you know, the better that you achieve that, then you're going to have better organizational decisions, and everything becomes a lot more efficient. I mean, to give you an example, you know, you need to be able to, if you're creating something, let's say you are in a company or you're working for a company on something, and you need to create something, you know, it's very good if you can easily share and they can see what your vision is and what you're working towards, and able to give them that at an earlier stage as possible, because there's nothing worse than going and putting a lot of effort into something, and then you create it, and then someone comes to you and says, oh, well, that's not what we had in mind at all. You know, you need to go and redo it all. So this is the kind of thing that you're trying to avoid. So, oops, sorry, 1 second. Yeah, so you know, in terms of information flow, there's different kinds of information flow. So, you know, one kind of information flow is what I was talking about, which is, you know, this vertical flow. So that's, you know, I'm collaborating with other people, maybe people that are decision makers who are, you know, requesting me to do something, or I'm producing something for a specific aim. And so how does that information flow to them? And also, how are they communicating the requirements and what you're working towards down through the organization? So that's kind of a vertical information flow. And that's obviously really important, because if that doesn't happen, then people can be off doing things. And as I said, the result can be, it's something that's not actually aligned, and it's a waste of people's energy. And then horizontal flow is just as important. So there we're talking about working between people who are in the same department or in a similar role that are collaborating to put something together. And that can be inside the organization, but it can also be outside the organization.
Now,
so you
Mr.
could
Jenkins,
yes.
I think you, we couldn't see your presentation. Is it possible that you
all right, yeah, I'm sorry.
it now? All right.
Let me
It's
try and
okay.
share again. Thank you for telling me. You didn't really miss that much. I just have the text on the screen that I'm talking about. So, but thank you for letting me know. Sorry, apologies for that. So yeah, so continuing about the kind of information flow. Do you see my screen now, I assume, yeah? Is that okay? It seems to have shared properly this time. So I'll assume it's the case. So that's your horizontal information flow. And, you know, and then the other question is, and this is more a question inside bigger organizations, how are you incentivizing people to share information, to make it easy to share information, and so people can collaborate that much more easily? And I'll give you some examples of how people are using the cloud and collaborating. So, you know, what are the kind of tools that we see people using to be able to collaborate and to help them achieve these things much more easily? And one obvious one is something like instant messaging system. I don't talk about email because email has a lot of limitations, and I think pretty much everybody has email. So it's a question of how can we improve on email, which is the kind of default for most people. So instant messaging can be really useful. There are lots of different systems for that. You can set up your own private messaging system. People use things like Slack. I mean, we use Slack, for example, in our organization. And so there's a lot of benefit to complementing things like email with an instant messaging for quick communication, especially if you can create groups, and then you can basically very quickly share information between separate groups that you may be collaborating with. And it's a very quick and easy way to get feedback and to let people know what's going on. So this is, I think, critical. And a lot of organizations still don't have a proper way of sharing information over instant messaging. And the other thing which we see a lot of that can really help is online collaboration. So there are more and more tools where you can actually share documents, share work, digital assets online. And then that's a great way to be able to collaborate. And you can even have it so that, obviously it depends on the use case, but you can even have situations where you can have multiple people editing the same digital assets at the same time. So this is really useful because it allows, you know, 4, 5, 10 different people to come together and contribute to a project all at the same time. And you can see the status of everything that's going on. And people obviously use the technology and the cloud to do that. And it makes a huge difference. And you know, how assets shared, so different people can get access to that information. And then, you know, related to that is like how transferable is that information? So how easy is it for someone who might come in, let's say you're working in a creative department of a company, how easy is it for someone to come in, you're working on an advertising campaign for something like you saw Easton's very nice ads earlier on, and you know, they obviously have a whole team working behind that to create that. How easy is it for someone who comes in for whatever reason to get up to speed on what are the aims of the campaign, what are the messages, what are the assets available that I can use, etc. So the more you have these better collaboration tools, the easier it is just to bring someone in and then to get up to speed straight away and start working. And then finally, how is information accessed and protected? Because you're talking about people's intellectual property, their creations, and so, you know, how is access controlled? Because the reality is, if you email someone something, it's like putting it on the internet, because they can download it from their email, they can put it on a USB, they can email it, whatever. So you lose control of information if you email it to someone. Whereas if you have it in an online collaborative platform, whether it could be a physical product and you just have photos of it or whatever, and you want to protect that, it's much better to have it online rather than starting to email or even sending those kind of things over instant messaging, because you can control the access, who has access, you can see when they viewed it, so you can keep control of your intellectual property that much more easily if it's online in the cloud rather than private. And people often think it's the opposite, but it's not, because you can control the access to the cloud. You can't control what people do when you email them something, for example. So, you know, we're obviously all acutely aware of the problems with COVID-19 and what it's created, but I think it's also highlighted, it's an extreme example of where you need this operational fluidity. Now, if you're an independent creative person, you're pretty fluid already, I know, but also when you're collaborating with other organizations, and the larger the organization, I think the bigger the challenge here. And so one of the key things that I see is you have to become location agnostic, meaning you don't rely on a physical location. So lots of companies are relying, or people are relying on, I have to be in the office to talk to this person or be able to show them my work or whatever it is. And what organizations need to do is move away from this requirement to have this physical interaction and to replace that with tools that allow them to essentially, as close as possible, create the same possibilities. Now, of course, it's always great to meet people face to face, but at the same time, that's not always practical. Clearly with COVID, it's a problem. But even if it's not with COVID, by getting rid of this need to have this kind of, it seems to me quite, you know, backward, the idea that everybody has to come to the office to get anything done. And I think that's really not the case. And I think we see that with COVID, that many organizations have been able to have people working from home, working remotely in their own environments, which often they're much more effective and comfortable in many jobs, especially creative jobs. If they have a quiet place or they can do their work, often it's better than being in the office, and they don't lose time commuting. So the idea that you can get rid of this physical location and need for everybody to come together like that, you know, as a requirement, is really powerful. And if you can do that, you can really open up a lot of possibilities for creative work. And, you know, just to give you an example, if you imagine you're working with people and everybody that you work with has to essentially physically interact with each other, then, you know, you're starting with people that live in Cebu, in this case, right? Because of the event that we're here at. But if you don't need that anymore, it doesn't matter if that designer is based in Cebu, or they could be based in Manila or Davao or in Myanmar or anywhere, because you're basically doing everything remotely. So it really opens up the organization or what you're doing in terms of the creative pool of people that you can collaborate with. So the idea is, if you can work remotely and you can liaise with people remotely, you can collaborate with people all over the world. And that's really powerful. So, you know, I think the cloud fundamentally, and what we do, does enable and help with collaboration. And so just quickly in the time I have left, I wanted to give you some quick examples of some of the things that we see creative style work. So one thing is digital asset management. So for people who have digital assets that they're creating, maybe in film or, you know, graphic design or those kind of work areas, putting those assets in a proper management system in the cloud where you can control access, where you can share it, where people can collaborate with other designers, is really powerful. And that's a key thing that we see a lot of companies using our cloud for in many locations around the world, from the US, Europe, Middle East, Asia. We have locations all over. Another great use of the cloud is prototyping, or rapid prototyping, or demonstration environments. Imagine you're a web designer. You can throw up a demo environment that's not the company's website, but you can put up a website in our cloud, for example, extremely inexpensively. You don't have to pay for it for a year or anything like this. And you can have that as an environment that they can then come in and have a look and, oh, okay, see how you're developing the website. We like this, you know, we're not sure about that. So you can use the cloud as a place to, again, share and create demonstration products. And as I said, real-time collaboration is another aspect where you can really edit and work on assets, clearly if they're in a digital medium, much more easily. And also you can finally, whether you've got digital or real-world assets, you can reach new people and reach new markets by having, obviously, a presence in the cloud. And that means you can much more easily nowadays create a website. You can, you know, obviously have even online shops. And nowadays, you don't necessarily have to have a level of IT experience that you had to have previously, because really we've moved to a place where all of that can be managed, and you can essentially have sort of a managed website that you just upload or create your assets around, your photos, whatever it is that you're selling, and then that can be accessed from everywhere in the world. And I can give you an example finally, in the final minute or two I have here left, of a company, like a real big collaboration. So we had a film company that was using our cloud. They were filming in Eastern Europe, in Bulgaria. They had a Hollywood studio that was working on creating some scenes from a movie. And they had this really big problem because they have all this data. They have the dailies that come in from the shooting, and they have to go and edit them. And then they have to, the producers and the directors who are not necessarily on site, they have to review them, tell the crew, no, you need to redo that scene, or this, that, and the other. And they did all of that online in the cloud. So they were able to put the assets up into the cloud, and they used, because they didn't just have Eastern Europe, they had like Latin America, Europe, US. So they're filming all these different locations, and they were able to use the cloud as a coordination mechanism to share those different areas, to share those different areas and collaborate. Now, this is an extreme case because you're talking about a Hollywood studio, but you can scale that down just to individual graphic designers, and you can use the same approach. So you can create this IT infrastructure within the cloud without needing a lot of IT experience nowadays. And I think that could really help collaborate between you and other creative people that you're working with. And finally, you can see here, this is the link for the cloud. You can go to Eastern's website and check it out. And you can also email me, robert@cloudsigma.com. It's really easy. And I'd be happy to discuss or help you with any queries you might have in terms of how cloud and technology might be able to help you in the creative space. So thanks for your time. I hope there was I planted some seeds in terms of ideas that you might have in terms of moving forward and helping you with your creative efforts. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jenkins. I'm sure everyone took note of the important insights you've shared. By the way, just to remind all our guests and participants, in case you get caught because of the internet connection, just jump back right in and we'll just be here waiting for you guys. Moving on, since the start of the lockdown and while we're still in the community quarantine, a lot of us actually spend so much time watching movies online or Netflix, okay? I've been doing that as well. And even our locally produced films have been trending. So the Cebu Business Month opens opportunities for local producers and talents hoping to make it to the international scene. And to officially open the Cebu International Film Festival is the president of the festival himself, serving his 4th year as president. He is also the founder and chief executive officer of Aliego Media. Friends, welcome Mr. Mel Aliego.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Mikey. Can everyone hear me? If not, I'll just proceed.
Yes.
Okay. Well, before I begin, I'd like to thank and congratulate Michael Kubos, the CBM 2020 chairman, President Felix, CCCI president, Emot, the creative industries co-chairman, and also the Cebu Business Month working team. Congratulations on holding this year's Digital Creative Summit. I'd also like to thank the fellow speakers and also Huyon for your participation and your sponsorship. Now that that's over with, I'd like to begin with the Cebu International Film Festival's 2020 curtain raiser. So this kicks off our festival season. And this year is the 9th Cebu International Film Festival with the theme of Reaching Out Beyond Borders. It will be held from October 20th through October 24th. And the reason we have the theme of reaching out beyond borders is because, as you know, due to COVID, we have to reach out beyond our localities. We have to come together online digitally. One of the things I'd like to mention real quick for this year's film festival, our shortlist jury, who takes all the submissions, watches all of them, and narrows it down to only a few set for our jury to go through. Part of our shortlist jury is Crispo Mojica, the founder of International Academy of Film and Broadcast Arts. Albert Chan Paran, he is an international awarded Cebu actor. Also Emot Amodia, he's the founder and owner of Emotunes and also a Cebu International Film Festival board member. And also Ron Tan, who is the founder of Sinulog Short Film Festival. This year's jury, who will be choosing the best films for this year, are Arti Shravistrava from India, Takuya Fukushima from Japan, and Danny Bautista from the Philippines. Now on to the curtain raiser film. This year we've chosen an animation film titled The Fox by Sagde Javadi. He is from Iran. This film was the winner of the Cebu International Film Festival Best Short Film in 2018. From what we know of this film, the film was based on a true incident that happened around 200 years ago during the Kahar Kingdom in Iran. The first king of Kahar, Agham Mohammed Khan, was fond of fox hunting and used a strange and unique method. Now, ladies and gentlemen, The Fox. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Cebu International Film Festival. Before we go to the next presenter, I would like to acknowledge our sponsors, starting off with our Ruby sponsor, Eastern Communications, our Omnibus sponsors, Vivant Corporations, GT Cosmetics Manufacturing, Lexmark Corporation, and our two-day event sponsors, Cebu Animation Guild, Cebu International Film Festival, Emotunes Animation Studio, Marie Ernestine School, Lilu Advertising and Marketing Solutions, Performance 360 Global Services, Aerophone Enterprises, PLDT, Lala Move, and Huyon. And speaking of Huyon, our next speaker is the lead of Huyon Southeast Asia, who will show us the amazing and cutting-edge Huyon products. All the way from Singapore, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Casey Leong.
Hello, good afternoon. Can all of you hear me?
Yes, Casey.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mom, Mikey, for introducing us at the last part of your sponsors. Very big impact to all of us. Thank you to the Cebu Chamber of Commerce and CIFF for giving us this golden opportunity to join this event. My name is Casey Leong. Again, I think most of the people in Philippines could have met me before, especially in Cebu. Thank you, Emot, for giving us this opportunity to be part of the prestigious event today. Like most of the COVID-19 affected companies and industry, Huion is also being affected very badly, particularly when our COVID-19, the virus has started up on the 25th of February in Wuhan. So our company and factory were actually put to a hold for almost 2.5 months. But we started to restart our business only at the beginning of May. So because of this growing demand of doing a very unconventional business over e-commerce that helped us to propel through this pandemic situation. That's why we felt that the COVID-19 on one hand has given us a lot of problems. On the other hand, he has given us some new way of doing business and opportunities. That's why we are here today. We conduct this wonderful workshop across the region. In fact, across half the globe to Greece. There is from people who are even registering in today, I saw, all the way from Greece to join us. I hope that with this online, this e-commerce platform being active at the moment, we could deliver more to people outside Philippines. That's why I think this event gave us a lot of meaning to join, because all we want to do is to bring good things, good technology, skills, and of course, from our two prestigious chosen top Huion evangelists, which they will be in action later on. I hope the people who register us in today can learn a lot from them. I'm not going to do a hard selling today. I think everybody knows about Huion already, but I want all of you to really learn a lot from our two guest speakers later on from Huion evangelists. They have taken a lot of time, and also they are also very busy. In fact, some are even a movie producer at the moment. So they took time off just to spend this 1 hour with all of you. I hope that all of you can learn from them. And the whole idea of the objective of this joint learning is, of course, to learn from each other, and of course, to share our experience, and lastly, to improve ourselves in our core skills and technology. So I hope, I wish all of you have an enjoyable session later. I think, yeah, I think that's all from Huion and our Huion bosses in our headquarters. Enjoy today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Casey. No wonder Huyon is one of the leaders in graphic tablets. And I pray I will win one of those tablets later during the raffle promo. Anyway, before I present the next speaker, I would like to remind everyone, if you have any questions for our speakers, you can type in the chat box below the Zoom screen, or if you're watching it from the FB Live, you can put that in the comment section and we'll read the questions later. We will have the Q&A after all the talks. Okay, so anyway, our next presenter is the evangelist from all the way from Myanmar. He is also an entrepreneur who owns Hexagon Institute of Arts and Design Training School in Yangon and Mandalay, a professor and has been passionately drawing for 17 years. Friends, please welcome the multi-awarded artist from Myanmar, Mr. Nyinyi Hetwe.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm greatly honored that I get to participate in this event held by CIFF, if I'm not wrong, and also Huyon as a representative of Myanmar. I would like to thank all those individuals in charge and artists who participated from various countries. And yes, a big thanks to our host, Mikey, right? And the audience who gave their precious time to enjoy the events. Minglaba to all of you, which means hello from Myanmar. So I am Nyinyi Hetwe. I was super keen on art things. I was a kid, and I believe everyone would have been interested in art, or at least enjoy drawing at some point of their life somehow. I first stepped into this creative field back in 2002, and it's been around 17 years of certifications, and I thought of serving our community and our country with something good by doing like what I'm good at, and also to let everyone knows that creativity would take us somewhere into all those splendid opportunity out there. So I took a stand and start off Horizon Institute of Art and Design back in 2015. So I'll show you some photo later. And I'll offer various causes sharing what I have learned, emphasizing on drawing, creative art, and graphic design in both Yangon and Mandalay. So I'm gonna share my screen. You ready? So before I start to share my screen, I'm gonna show you some photos.
Nyinyi, we cannot see your video.
You cannot see?
No, your video is not running on the screen. Can you restart again?
Sure.
I think you need to choose the right window, not the Explorer window. Sorry. I think you need to choose the Explorer window. You play first, and then you share the screen.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, you play it first, and then you share the screen. I think that's the work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No worries.
Wait a second.
Okay, we can see your video now, Nyinyi.
Is it okay now?
Great, great. It's good.
It's Casey. All right. So this is my schools in Mandalay, and also Casey also visit our school. But currently, due to COVID, we are temporarily closed. No choice, safety first. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, okay. COVID-19 affect each and every business in Myanmar. So those entertainment one, and the export import companies, and also institutions and training centers, we have to follow the demanding rules and regulation from the government. So practically impossible for us to open a school and start class on our own. So we came up with an alternative by implementing online class. And nowadays, internet connection is here is quite okay and fast enough. So taking that into account, and now we offer online courses, and that's going quite well. Our classes are mostly available on private Facebook group. So here's you might want to ask why Facebook group. So here's in Myanmar, Facebook is the most trending social platform. So it's worked very well and easy. And I tried some other application, but those are inoperative. Myanmar citizens have that one particular attitude. So if they start using something and they enjoy it, and they will continue using it, like Huayong product. So I like the Huayong product, and then I keep using that Huayong product.
Thank you, thank you.
So we can call this as a market change during this pandemic area. So many businesses came to realizations of selling or showing off their product online is the way to maintain their roles in the market. So this time, where our creative field become more demanding, as all of the businesses need more graphic posters and image to advertise, to promote online. So I would regard this as a change and challenging experience from the pandemic. So when it's all over, we will continue to operate the course. So I don't know when exactly, but I hope we can start soon when the government would allow us to. So this is about the effect of COVID-19. I explain. So I'm gonna share my screen again to show my artwork. So some of the people, they might want to look. All right. So can you see this? Hello, Mikey?
Yes,
we can see it. Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Here. Hello there.
I think
yes.
I have to do that again, right?
I think if you you should open the window first of the images or preview, then you share it, because it cannot change the window automatically.
Share screen. How about now?
I think
We only see thumbnails.
yes. Maybe
I got it. Yeah. I got it. Here.
Bingo.
There you go. There.
So wait a second. So back to me.
Cool.
So back to me. Yes, I draw and paint, but not like a professional artist. Like it's like a kid stuff, right? My main professional is being a graphic designer, My whole career is dedicated to being a graphic designer. So I really enjoy drawing, but I don't draw much, mostly digital illustrations. And see, those are my childish. So these are my drawing. And here also. So Myanmar is in the process of developing and catching up other countries in terms of technologies and foreign opportunities, getting used to it and its point. In earlier day, drawings and creative arts are just hobby. Like you want to draw, but you have no chance to do it. So look, so these are my design. So these are my commercial artwork. Look, so these are our school photos. Like in foreign country, working in the game industry, like creating digital artwork, character concept, or art posters, and maybe even comic and digital illustrations, actually super rare here. You know, more like here, it's nothing at all. Like all of us has no chance, even if we are super good at it and professionate about it. We give up and choose a reliable career to be successful, like including me. Lately, social media become much more trendy and following that more and more opportunities are available. So all of these potential artists hiding at the back, finally getting their chance to make a living out of their hobbies, interests, and what they enjoy doing. So I would like to thank Huiyon from here for uniting the art society as one since they got to Myanmar, for holding galleries and show, not for just artists in Myanmar, but also artists from another country. So local artists and talented one here mindly encourages. It's very impressed of Huiyon for organizing this kind of webinar during this difficult time, and I am forcing to a better and award futures for Myanmar, so both locally and internationally very soon. So can I stop sharing right now? Hello there.
Yes, we can see you.
All right, if there are any questions about the art, so I'm able to answer.
That's okay. You're done with your presentation, Yinyi?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much for showing us your awesome creation. Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Thank
so
you.
now we open our time for our question and answer. But actually, I got here 2 questions for Mr. Robert Jenkins. He is still here, right? Mr. Robert Jenkins?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. All right. We got this question for you.
Yes.
I like hearing about how the creative industry and how they use cloud. What was the most unique usage of cloud have you noticed so far?
Yeah, so I kind of touched on it a little bit in the presentation. I would say that the most interesting use case in the creative industry that we have is when we see people actually creating something in the cloud directly. So you know, we saw that was the Fox animation, which was really beautiful. And actually, you know, people can create those kind of things collaboratively using tools online. So this is what we've seen some film and animation studios do is actually have multiple contributors creating different works, and they're using the cloud as a way of doing that. So the benefit of that is that you have a lot more computing in the cloud than you do locally. So the animator can work off, as long as they have even a half decent connection, they can work off their, a very inexpensive laptop or computer, and all the hard work is done in the cloud. So what they're able to do is to do a lot of graphic design or just even animation. But then, of course, if you get into other things where they might have rendering or these kind of requirements, they can do that in the cloud really easily. So they can also do things like if they're creating a video and then they want to transcode the video into another format, this can all be done in the cloud much more easily and actually cost effectively than if the people are doing it themselves locally. So these are the kind of interesting things that we see. And as I said, the benefit of that is that most of these projects are like transnational. So there's no reason why someone in Myanmar cannot contribute with someone from Singapore and Philippines, and they can all be working on the same work. And they can do it very easily and see what's going on between themselves. And this is a kind of unique thing because previously it just wasn't possible, or it was very difficult to create that level of coordination. So I think it's really exciting because we can have creators working together online, and they can make so much more progress, and it's much faster. And they have access to this huge pool of computing that if they need it, if it's like something like rendering or something else, when they need it, it's there. And they can pull it down, even if it's for just an hour, to render something, and then it's ready. And the cost to them will be a few dollars instead of having to spend a lot of money or thousands of dollars buying a video card, for example. So it's a really interesting way. And I think it's it like democratizes access to these kind of tools because actually anybody can use it, and it doesn't require thousands of dollars to get started. So it's a really nice aspect from this perspective.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, there's another question for you, Mr. Jenkins. A lot of people say cloud can grow into something even bigger than what it is. Anything we should look out for or prepare for in the near future, or anything exciting for cloud coming?
Technology never gets old, so there's always new things coming. I think that, if you look at it as an overall trend, what you see is that the entry bar to start using different tools and using the cloud is becoming lower and lower. That's what I mean. So actually, even most people use the cloud and they don't even think about it. Is the reality. But in terms of from a creative process, there are more and more tools available, and deploying things in the cloud is becoming easier and easier. So I think the trend is that you need to be less and less technical to take advantage of these things. So if you go back maybe 5 years, if you wanted to do this, you would have to go and get maybe a IT person, developer, whatever, to help set everything up for you in the cloud. And it's a much more involved process. Whereas nowadays you can go in the cloud and you can deploy environments. So you can say, I want a shared environment for file storage and whatever, and you can just click, and it will be deployed for you. And then you can invite the people that you want, and you don't need any technical knowledge really. So this is kind of where the whole process is moving. So what I would say is that there's obviously a leading edge technology that's always coming in, and then at the same time, it's becoming easier and easier to use. So yeah, you have AI and machine learning. I'm not sure how directly relevant it would be for this kind of project, these kind of projects, but there are a lot of things coming in, like rendering and different tools, which just make it super easy for somebody to create something and just say, okay, yeah, just transcode that, change that into this format, boom. And they don't have to understand what's happening. They just know they need it in, whatever format, and these things are all there. So in the cloud, you're getting this increasingly big toolkit that you have around whatever you're doing. So, where it's relevant, where you're not creating something physical, it becomes much, much more easy. And so I'd say this is the main trend. The main trend is that you don't need to be as technical as you used to be for the cloud. And obviously that's a lot of work because like in any product, if a product's easy to use actually a lot of work has gone into making it easy to use. It's not a natural process, as anyone who's ever tried to create a product knows. So making something intuitive and easy is hard, and that's what we're working on. That's what everyone's working on, to make it easier for people to use the tools. So I'd say this is the trend. Expect the cloud to become easier and easier to use and more accessible, and you'll be able to do more things there. And of course, the cost is coming down all the time as well. So these are all trends that are really great in terms of from a creative industry perspective as well. And connectivity is increasing as well. So that's making it easier and easier to move larger files like videos and things like this up into the cloud and people to access them and things like that. And you mentioned the streaming. I mean, this is using a huge amount of bandwidth. So these kind of developments are just making it more and more sensible and accessible to think about using the cloud if you're working with other people and you want to share your work.
Yeah, I agree. Technology really brought the creative industry, way a notch higher. So I hope the participant who asked that question took note of that very insightful comment from Mr. Jenkins. We also got some, thank you so much, Sir Robert. We also have questions for Nini. Are you there, Nini?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Let me read the question for you. We can see a lot of competition in the digital market with the increase in popularity of art and design in Myanmar. So I'd like to ask on behalf of the future graphic designer, I'd like to know if you could give any tips for the newcomers in the field and what is the best way to compete in the market, or what are the steps to break into this field to become an artist?
Well, a good thing is to have a campaign supporting social media. If I could give an advice, keep in touch with these process and continue participating in these kind of events amongst the creativity fees and to practice their interest diligently. Well, once the COVID crisis ends, entrepreneurs would stay continue to think online business is very much reliable, and you will continue getting challenging opportunities. So before that, why staying at home? You should polish your skills and make it stand out. Success is waiting for you out there. So I have seen a bunch of Burmese teenagers who is passionately interested in this creativity career can be considered as a social media benefit as well. It's not like these particular interests didn't exist in the past, but now it's a little different. Maybe it's because of lack of not network before. So now it's much more easier to connect between each other as social media make its ways through. I think it's very convenient and it's good for them. What do you think?
Actually, we have a lot of questions for you here. So I'm trying to sort all the questions.
All right.
Okay, this is your second question. Please tell us about the past and present developments in the digital art sector in Myanmar. And as you have been in the field of graphic design for a long time, do you have any suggestions for further improvement?
Like previous answer, like during this time, they have to skill up their skills. So that's it.
Simple and straightforward, Nini.
Thank you.
Okay, I got here 3 more. I hope you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay, here is the question from Sheila May Manangan from the Philippines. What applications do you use to make your drawings? And okay, that one first. So what applications do you use?
Mainly I use for drawing, I use Clip Studio Paint. And another one is Adobe Photoshop. So, but Clip Studio Paint is mainly I use for drawing.
All right. Okay. And this one, I think from the same person, Can you give some motivation to those youth who are enthusiastic in art and creation but no support?
For me, I have actually there's no support for me, but I try practicing myself, and there's no one is giving me a job like 17 years, so I just do it my own. So they can improve their skill by keep doing it.
Yes, just do it.
Just
If
do
you're
it, yes.
passionate about it, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I guess we cover all the questions already, right? Okay, so I believe we covered all the questions. Thank you so much, Nini and Mr. Robert Jenkins. I hope you can still stay with us. Okay, so from Myanmar, we go all the way down to Indonesia. This time we learn more from the Huyan evangelist or ambassador from Indonesia, Mr. Chris Lee. But let me share a little more info about him to get you even more excited to listen. Okay, Chris Lee is an artist for comic books and cover art, toys design, and many more. But not just your ordinary artist. He has worked with big names like Sony Online Entertainment, Marvel Comics Book, doing Lord of the Rings. These are just some of the examples. Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Avengers, Iron Man, my favorite, and many others. So he's also actually doing local productions currently with HBO Asia, Netflix, and a lot more. So everyone, get ready to meet the man, Mr. Chris Lee.
Hello, hello everybody. First, I want to say thank you to the Cebu Chambers of Commerce and Industry, and also for Huyon for inviting me to this event. Actually, this is kind of my first time like joining international webinar events. Very exciting. And I'm very happy actually, finally I get introduced to the other Huyon evangelists as well, which previously I only heard their names from Casey, but now I can really talk to them and be friend in Facebook. So yeah, okay, let's start with, today I'm gonna share some of my experience, and especially I'm gonna talk about what happening lately with the COVID and how the industry changes in international and also in local scale. So let's just go straight to my presentation. Okay. Can you see the presentation? Yes. Okay.
Yes, we
So
can.
yeah. So my name is Chris. I currently now I'm working as not as a individual, but I'm working as a studio. I founded Caravan Studio in 2008, and uh, we are still growing until right now. Actually, until last year was actually a very good year, but then COVID came in, so my prediction of a better year this year is it's not happening. So a little bit about myself. I actually came from a small city in Indonesia, and when I grew up, I always wanted to be an artist, but the family or the community around me, I didn't have a successful artist as a role model. So I just tried to do whatever I could, whatever I knew. And at the time, there was no internet, so it's kind of trial and error. So I attended architecture as my bachelor degree and get my bachelor degree in architecture. It wasn't my first choice, but I wanted to be a painter, but my parents thought that become an artist will not make any money. So I just have to choose another subject that is kind of close to art. And then after I graduated from architecture, I started to work as an architect and also start drawing comics. And after 2 years, I quit my architecture job and start doing comic and design, learning like just learning by myself, and start working on a advertising agency and other design offices. And then in 2003, I applied for a scholarship in the US to study sequential art, which is comic books. And lucky I got accepted. So I went to the Savannah College of Art and Design from 2003 to 2005 for my master's degree. And then I stayed there for a year. I started to work on the comic industry in the US. And then in 2006, I came back to Jakarta. And in early 2008, I started Caravan Studio. So along these years, actually my role or my job kind of changed. So at first, I wanted to be a comic artist, and I wanted my work to be published in the US, and actually it happened. And then when I started Caravan, I have artists who are more towards illustrators, not comic artists. So I start to learn that, and then around 2015 we started to get offered to do design for movies, and now I mainly doing design for movies, while my other team, I have my art directors and also senior artists who are concentrating on the game illustrations. So at the beginning we just doing comic book services and toys design, but then along the way our services get more broad, and it's actually this year is actually a good thing because some of the industry is got affected very bad by COVID. So we have to now we still have some other business that we can call clients that we can try uh, to get a job from. So this is some of our previous works. So we work for Marvel Comics, we work for Disney publishing. We do a lot of these books, like Marvel characters books for kids. And then this is some of our design illustrations for Transformers toys that until now we're still working on it. We've been working on this for about maybe 10 years. Then this is some of our Star Wars card games that we did a while back. We did a lot of card games for Star Wars, and also books, novels, illustration, that kind of stuff. We wanted to one day to be involved in the movies, but yeah, hopefully it's still a dream. This is another IP that maybe a lot of people know. This is Mortal Kombat. So we did a lot of cards for Mortal Kombat. Then this is kind of our current projects. So we do a lot of splash art. It's called splash art for games called Smite. So it's a multiplayer online games that you can play in a PC or also in PlayStation 4. Yeah, this is some from the same projects. So this kind of illustration that we are doing regularly on monthly basis. Then now we move to the movie projects. I have here some of the latest one. So this is a Netflix series, the first Netflix series from Thailand. It's called The Stranded. I mean, if you want, you can go to Netflix and you can watch it. So we work on this. We work on the concept design under the production designer called. His name is Pawas from Thailand. So we got involved because we work on another project before called Buffalo Boys, and he likes our work. So we got invited to work for him again on this project, and since then we've been working for many projects, including now. So this is some of our works for the movie. So what is concept art? Some people call it concept art, some call visual development, but basically from the script we need to visualize it, kind of visualize the script into an illustration whom everybody can see and can agree on before we started the production. So when the director look at this and they're okay, I like it, or maybe I don't like this part, and he wants to change it, then we're going to change it until exactly what the director has in mind. And then after that, all the crews from the movies, all the set builders, art directors, they're gonna take a look at this, and including the VFX team later on. So they all have the same vision on how, let's say, this island will look like. So it's kind of a guide. So if you can see here, actually it's not really polished. So we use a lot of photos, we use a lot of 3D parts, and we combine it with paintings. So it's kind of look like finished from afar, but when you actually zoom in, it's really not finished. It's just it's a guide basically. From the script, from writings, we need to visualize it. So this is another example. So we use different medias as long as we can produce what the director has in mind, or if the director is still not sure how is it, then it's our job to actually propose, okay, I think this is the look like that we need to go and see if he likes it or not. So it's kind of like an island that got hit by a tsunami. So this is the context of the story. Then the next one is actually it's Chinese movie. It came out in December last year, called Skyfire. It's kind of a big budget movie, shot in Malaysia, actually in Johor, but the director is from the director of the Expendables. The crews are from US, but the managers are from US, but the crew are actually from Southeast Asia. So we are invited to do the concept for this under production designer from US called Paul Kirby. Actually, he was the production designer for Kingsman, Jason Bourne, and also Hellboy, the latest Hellboy. So since this project, we been working with him again in another 2 projects. I'm going to show the next one. So this is some of the illustration that we did. So a lot of it's basically a volcano eruption, but in a huge scale. So it destroy everything in the island. So it's also a bit more futuristic kind of thing. Okay, so basically, as a visual development artist, we are required to be able to design or draw anything. So whatever the script is, if they want us to draw it, we have to draw it. Let's say this is a kind of a hospital, we have to be able to draw scenery, props, military, costume, everything. Okay, so this is the project that we work with Paul again after the Skyfire. He said, when we met him, he said he just finished Hellboy. So I said, how's Hellboy? Yeah, it's good. Then he said, oh, I mean, if we met before Hellboy, then I will ask you to join Hellboy. Then I was so sad at that time. But then he said, don't be sad. I'm gonna bring you to the next project. So his next project was The Old Guard for Netflix. So I was so happy because I was a comic artist. So this is also from comics. So I started to read the comics. Then I basically we helped them. We helped him to for producing this movies, and this is some of our key arts for the scenes. I mean, I don't know if you already watch it, but if you haven't, I'm sorry, but this is like when the character goes back to Sudan villages, and then this is a kind of flashback where she and her friend was hanged. Yeah. So, and this is another flashback story about one of the characters with his son. So basically as you can see, we draw everything. Whatever the script need, we draw it. Whatever period we need to do research on the clothing, the architecture, and everything. So just to summarize, from 2015, we've been doing many movie projects, whether it's local or international. The yellow one is the international one. The gray one is local. But although it's local, in Indonesia now, they have more and more budget for movies. So, and they also work with 20th Century Fox, or they work with foreign companies like CJ Entertainment from Korea. So with that, they have more budget for us to explore, for us to design something that more crazy, and then they have the budget to actually make it happen. So this is, I just want to kind of quickly show what actually we do during the movie productions. So I put this into 4 different stages. The first one is pitching. When we just have idea, there's no money, there's nothing. It's just to pitch the idea to the investors to put the money in for the project. The pre-production, when the money is already there, then we need to preparation for the shooting. So we need to start designing a production of the costume set and everything, and then the post-production. So basically after the movie was shot, then we need to still do the VFX, which sometimes you need more visuals to be developed as well. And then we didn't plan it, but we also got involved in the marketing and also derivative products that from the movies afterwards. So for the pre-productions, we do the visual development design for the character, weapon, transportation, whatever it is needed. We do call it key art, or the one that you just I just present for the old guard and stuff. We call it key art. So basically a scene that give the crew basically a guide, as I mentioned, a guide for them to actually create the set and everything to reach that look. Then we do storyboard. We do graphic design inside the movie. We do some shooting props. Let's say if they want to have some special props, then we do 3D modeling and we print it 3D. So this is some of the samples of our work. So this is a superhero, Indonesian superhero called Gundala. So we designed this. There are 2 costumes later on in the movies, but this is the first one where he made it himself. So this is from another movie, from local movie, a martial art movie. So this is one of the villain characters. So we do a lot of options first. Then the director will see it, and the producer will see, and then we will do some reviews, and then they choose which one they like, and then we're gonna develop more, and then after it's final, then the costume designer will come in and make the costumes and also the weapons and everything. This is from another local movies, also big budget movies. We do a lot of vehicle design. So from the Kijang, from the Toyotas, old Toyotas, then it was like, you know, like modified into some this kind of like war type of military vehicles. So it's quite exciting projects for this one. This is another one. Maybe it's from the Toyota to 20 years ago, 25 years ago type model. Then we do a lot of set designs. This is another one for an HBO series called Grise. So this is for another Indonesian movie called Hit and Run. It stars by Joe Taslim, who also starred in Fast and Furious, and also the villain is Yayan Ruhian, who stars in Star Wars and also John Wick. This is another key art. So they wanted to build a market kind of things. When they have everything, they sell stuff. So we design it to set the mood, to show this is how it's gonna look like, the atmosphere of the scene kind of. And storyboard can be black and white, can be colorful like this. It depends on the time. Some design props for in the movie. Let's say they have a books or an old books, then we need to design it too. And this is another movie that we did. They have a game card in the story, so we created a special game card. And this is some of the costume. Actually, this is a costume 3D modeling, because they have to build the costume in the US. So we need to make sure that it's correct. We build the 3D, we send it to them, and they scan the actor's body and head, and then they use this base, and they fit into the actor's measurements. And then for the post-production, we have to do some VFX guide, something like this. So it's actually empty plate. Then we need to make it, because the superpower of this character is lightning. So we need to design how the lightning, how it looks like for the VFX guy to actually apply it. So this is actually empty. The guy is empty, just doing like that. But then we put the lighting there. We have to design how the lighting comes from the ears, and how it spread the effect, something like that. And this is another simple one. So basically, when we shot it, there's no moon that big. So, but of course, they wanted to be a big red moon. So the sky was empty. So we basically designed the sky, the moon, and the VFX team will follow this and put it in the movie. So now this is another thing that I mentioned about the marketing derivative products. So we do a lot of titling or logo design. We didn't plan to, but of course, usually when we already work on the movie, they say, how about you also design the logo for the movies? Then we started from there. We have dedicated graphic designers to actually helping to do all the logo designs. This is actually the movie logos from Bumi Langit. It's an Indonesian superhero cinematic universe. So it's kind of like a Marvel universe. This is an Indonesian one. We had a lot of superheroes back then in the 60s, 70s. So now the characters is kind of gathered together by one company, and they started to make the movie. Skunda is the first one. We're working on the Sri Asih second one, and Virgo right now. So we kind of trying to make our own cinematic universe kind of things. So this is the sample of the posters for the Kundala, the movie, the guy with the lightning power. So the left one is the teaser. So we actually showing, oh, this is how it's gonna look like. And a lot of the people will comment, it doesn't look like the old one and this and that. And then we reveal more and more and more when the movie is coming out. And then from another movie, from another Indonesian movie, I also suggested to them to work together with mobile games. This is from Arena of Valor. It's from Garena Tencent. So we had a meeting. They liked the idea, and then it's kind of it's the first time that Indonesian local character was adapted into a a big game kind of. This is a big mobile game, which is Arena of Valor. So in order to put the character into the game, we need to change the design as well, because movie should be realistic, but game should be exaggerated, a lot of exaggerations. As you can see, the X is so big, there's a lot of effects. So we really have to redesign the characters. And then I had a very good experience doing this, because I had a chance to visit the new Tencent buildings in Shenzhen. It's huge, and there's a basketball court inside the building, which is the best basketball court I've ever seen in my life. So it's amazing experience to be able to work on this, and it was a successful project, successful character. A lot of people playing this character. Then we also make the comic books. So it can be online, it can be sold in the bookstores, but I also had idea that when we premiere the movie, how about we also give the audience away comic books. I mean, the first issue of the comic books, so they can read it. The story is a bit different from the movies, and if they like it, they can continue buying it in the bookstores or read it digitally. So this is from the movie Buffalo Boys. We distribute this for free during the premiere of the movie. And this is art books. So maybe many of you already know that a lot of the movies like Star Wars, actually Star Wars, the one who started it all. So they compile the progress of the design or the process into a book, so everybody can read and learn from it. And then Marvel doing it, and a lot of games now doing it as well. A lot of movies now, most of the movies also have the art of the movies. So I thought, why don't we make one? Because I think our process is also need to be documented so people can read about it and learn from it, hopefully. So we started with the Wiro Sableng, on the left. And then the producers agreed, then it was a successful. Then we published the second one, Kundala. So these books are possible. This project is possible with the support of Huion. Especially Casey was very, very nice to help us to realize these books. Yeah. Okay, so now I think I'm gonna talk a bit more details about the industry. So I'm gonna talk about the local Indonesian market right now. I think the movie industry in Indonesia is growing very fast lately in the last 3 or 4 years, because they opened the foreign investment. So more and more money coming in to invest on the movies, and so there are bigger projects that we can do. Then of course, because of COVID, it's slowing down. But then now, since the movie theaters cannot be open, the movies that already been made of done, they distributing it through Netflix. Disney Plus is already in Indonesia. I think Disney Plus before this was India and then Indonesia. So maybe in other country they don't have Disney Plus yet, but Indonesia they have Disney Plus. And then we have local GoPlay, Maxstream, and a lot more. So a lot of options. to sell, to distribute your movie right now in Indonesia. In terms of comic industry in Indonesia, it's also getting hit very hard because of the closing of the bookstores, which is the main distribution channels. Lately, the young readers, they started to get used to read digital comics like webtoon, but they're not used to pay for it yet. So they like to read it, but they don't want to pay for it. So they're still looking for the free one, which is kind of hard for us, because in terms of in producing comics not cheap, and not many sponsors willing to sponsor us on comic books. They more willing to sponsor us on movies. So comic industry in Indonesia is quite struggling. And in terms of game industry, I think it's not affected as hard as the others, because when we were at home, we still playing games, and from the job that we got, we still get a lot of job from the game companies. And the second was about the regional or global market. From our experience in the last 6 or 7 months, the movie industry in the US is also get affected as well, because of COVID, because we cannot shoot basically. So some of our projects were delayed, but now they already started to resume the shoots with the strict protocols. But as we just I just mentioned as well, that Netflix is also booming, so we started to get more jobs now because of a lot of Netflix projects. And in the regional or the global market, the comic industry also was hurt very hard by COVID, including in the US, because of the closing of the distribution channels as well. So I think the COVID will speed up the transition from the printed comics into the digital comics, because in the end, when Indian the readers has no choice. You cannot buy printed anymore, as or maybe the publisher, they don't want to print anymore because it's very hard to sell it. So in the end, I think the transition will to the web comic or online comic will be faster. And in the other countries, the readers are already get used to pay for content, so it's good. The game industry in the global game industry is still strong, and there are a lot of projects. Some delayed last time in the last 5 months, but now everything is going back to normal. So it's good for us who depends on the jobs from the gaming industry. So from what I see in Indonesia, because of COVID, I think it's an opportunity for animation. Because of the social distancing policy, we're gonna do live shoots. So since they have a lockdown in Indonesia, a lot of clients asking me to do animation. It can be 2D animation, simple 2D animation, to do their ads, to produce their advertisement, to produce simple animation for social media marketing and stuff. So and actually I'm also starting to switch a bit. I mean, not really switch, but I try to open more opportunity. By now I'm starting to accept doing simple animation just to survive basically, and to get more new market. So so I think some of the animation that the Indonesian local company produce for the ads are quite okay compared with the price that is not as expensive as Japan. So, for example, actually yesterday there's a company, multinational company who inquired about doing animation for the ads, and they are willing to their target for the animation is quite high now. They want us to make something like an anime quality, but it's only 60 seconds. So I think I will try to do it because I think it's a good opportunity for us to actually let's say if the comic book is not really working, then we can move switch to 2D animation kind of. So yeah, I think that's all from me. So yeah, maybe if there's any questions, we can discuss further. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Chris, Mr. Lee, for sharing and inspiring many more artists out there. I'm sure they are convinced why Huyan Tablet is a great match for your amazing talent. Okay, so actually, please stand by because we got a lot of questions for you. But for now, I'd like to call back Nini. Sorry, we also got more questions for you. Nini is still there, right? Is Nini still with us? All right.
I think so. Yeah, maybe I can answer questions first.
Yeah, okay.
While waiting for him.
This is a question for you. What is the difference between local and international clients beside the budget, like the working methods maybe?
Okay, I think some of the main difference I think in how they work basically. The international clients, they already have some standards, like more rigid standards that they will apply to all their projects. Although, even though they shooting it not in the US, let's say they're shooting in Malaysia or in Indonesia, but their standard of working is still the same. So it's easier for us to follow, and our job description is clear. I mean, if I get hired to do let's say the concept part, then I will not be asked to do other stuff that I'm not supposed to do, kind of. So and the chain of command is also very clear. Let's say I'm under the production designer, then I cannot, let's say, jump over him and talk to the director, kind of, because it will kind of confuse the whole communication process. So I only coordinate with my supervisors, and then my supervisor will coordinate the one above him. So well, in Indonesia, maybe it's not about that they don't know it, but the situation kind of different. Maybe the crew is a bit smaller, so we just have to talk together, basically, not really in a very long chain of comments. So I think the way they work, the way we work is the main difference, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, this is your second question. What do you think is lacking in the local industry, and how can we catch up to the international standards?
Okay. I think education. I mean, yeah, I mean education that will affect the skill of the artists from Indonesia. Let's say I'm talking about Indonesia. I think different countries in Southeast Asia may be slightly different. I know that Singapore is very concerned and put a lot of efforts to upgrade their manpower skill to the international standard. I think Thailand also great. I think Manila is starting there. Indonesia, I think, is also starting, but since Indonesia has a lot of people compared to the other current countries, I think it's very hard. It's harder to do, and so my main concern is always about education. Why? Because lately, I noticed that more and more youngsters wanted to become an artist or a designers or have a career in the art industry. More and more, and actually it's a lot. When Caravan is opening a uh, job opening, there are maybe 200, more than 200 people apply. But the quality uh, is not improving. So the number is improving, but the quality is not. So I think the main thing that we need to solve in Indonesia, I think, is about education. So and we have to start from the high school. We cannot start from college because it's too short. They have to learn a lot of so many things. I think we need to
Yeah,
start from the high school.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay. All right. This one is, the question is from Teddy Sunhaya from Indonesia. I hope I pronounced the last name correct. I have an interest in digital art, but I am worried about piracy and copyright. What should I do to avoid it if I want to become a digital artist?
Okay. I think if you're concerned about the piracy, I think if you make your own works or publish your own thing, uh, uh, if you work for big companies like Sony, Marvel, Hasbro, whatever you work, whatever you produce under the contract will be owned by them 100%. So it's it's definitely they will copyright your work under them. I mean, they will register it under the companies to protect the IP. So you don't need to worry about it because you don't own it. But locally, the worst piracy I think in Indonesia right now is music and film. So let's say if our movies is coming out on Netflix at the same day, the DVD pirated DVD is already in the store. So it's there so fast, like in a matter of hours, they already sell it. So I think that's the biggest problem for us now in Indonesia. I don't know about the other countries, but music and movies is very easy to be pirated and also distributed. They can distribute it online. They can distribute it with the DVD or DVD like music DVD movies. But other than that, let's say if our drawing, we draw something, we put it on the internet, somebody took it and let's say make it into a t-shirt. If you know them, if you know it, you can sue them. You can actually ask them, contact them, and ask them to settle it. So it happened. It happened many times. It's still happening. But if the company who pirated your artwork is quite big, they will uh, they will settle it with you. So you don't need to really worry it. So uh, I think that's what I think.
Okay, this one is from an anonymous attendee. How can you practice script visualization, and how long does it usually take to easily visualize a text and putting it into illustrations? Also, what are the possible difficulties one might encounter while doing this? Finding it hard constructing storyboards from scripts.
Okay. I think it's about practice. Let's say storyboard is about practice. So I don't really know exactly how, but I've been drawing a lot, like for a lot of many years. So sometimes when I read a script, I can already visualize it in my head, and I just need to draw it from this angle or that angle. But there are some theories that you can learn. Let's say if you are wanted to do something that depressed, then you maybe choose a high angle. If you want to do something that is let's say to show someone dominant, you can use the low angle, something like that. It's some very simple theories that you can read from any storyboard books. But other than that, you have to like draw, and drawing storyboard has to be fast too. So you have to keep practicing your anatomy, your perspective, composition, and do it fast. And drawing comics, like thousands of pages of comics, really trained me to draw fast. So that's what I think that's what happened to me, and how to easily visualize script into a drawing or something. Uh, I think you should uh, enrich your visual library or visual vocabulary by seeing a lot of stuff. It doesn't have to be movies, but a lot of stuff, like can be documentary, can be animal, can be anything, military stuff, weapons, costumes, anything. So with that, you have a rich visual library. So when you read a script, you kind of have something in mind. Okay, I think this character looks like this with the let's say you use this kind of jacket, this kind of weapon, this kind of stuff, and then you can draw it. If it fits with what the director has in mind, then it's good. But if it's not, then at least it's the starting point for the director to comment, and then we can revise from there.
Okay, I think you mentioned about working fast on your storyboards. The next question is probably related. This one is from Theophilus Pandya from Indonesia. He asked how many hours in one day you draw, and what's your deep motivation to become a great artist?
Okay.
So
I
how
think
many hours in one day?
okay, maybe my turning point of drawing bad, like okay, like to drawing I think quite good, is when I went to college in the US. Actually, they give us so many assignments that if we want to do our best, if we want to get a very good grade, we have to work very hard. So during those 3 years, I think I draw about at least 16 hours a day, every day for 3 years. Uh, I draw and also I sculpt muscles, muscle structures, anatomy stuff. So um, I could really feel the jumps of the skill during that 3 years. And lately and then I draw a lot, and then when the caravan studio getting bigger, I start to do a lot of time of managing and marketing and getting projects. And then lately I started to draw again, quite a lot for movies, doing a lot of designs. So right now I think I draw about 12 hours a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Almost a
Yeah.
day. Yeah.
Uh,
Actually, they're asking if you are offering any online workshops also or training for interested individuals or young students.
Currently, no, but actually before the COVID happened, I already set up 2 classes, like really physical classes. We already have the space, and we already construct the class. And Caravan wanted to offer like a short course, but with a very tough method where it will force you to paint and draw in a long hours in maybe 3 months. But hopefully after 3 months, you can start working on a lower tier US project card illustrations. That's what we aim. But then we already started. We already make the syllabus and everything. But then the COVID hit, so actually the classes is never been occupied, and maybe we will be forced to actually abandon it, or like yeah. But maybe in the future we will have that. But for now, this work from home situation is also quite hard, so we are still struggling with the working coordination. So maybe in the future.
Okay, actually we've been receiving a lot of questions for you, but due to limited time, I will have the last two from our participants. This one is from Diwi Arisudana, also from Indonesia. She wants to ask what things have to be considered in making animation for the digital education.
Wow, I don't. Very difficult questions. I don't.
Hard question. And there's a follow-up actually. If animation can be applied in mathematics lesson at high school.
Okay, I think I'm not an expert in education, so I can't really. Maybe I cannot really answer very well for these questions. But I believe that we can explain any subject with animation. It's just how we will, the method we will explain it. We can explain math. We can definitely explain let's say chemical physics. And actually, I last week I got a call from a dentist. He wants me to make an animation about the new technology or new technique in the dentist uh yeah, this the dentist industry or whatever. So I was surprised that now they think about animation as a tool to for education. Yeah, so I think that's why animation has a lot of potentials, with or without COVID. So I think that's what I can answer.
Okay, thank you for that. And this will be your final question for you. Uh, since when and how did you start your career as an illustrator? And also, what tips can you give for being creative at making a concept?
Okay. I started in 1997. Um, so I started to draw comics independently. I printed, I sold my own comics uh, as an indie comics. And then I started to work on for publishers. I started to work for advertising agencies, and then other stuff. And then I started to join competition. I think competition is very important. I mean, if there's any competition, you should try to join, because win or lose doesn't really matter, but at least you have the experience. And I joined some and I won some too. So it's a good recognition, some good prizes, and you make a good connections. So um, from yeah, I think then when I get the scholarship to the US, I think that's opened the door for my uh, for me to enter the US industry. And then from there, actually I started from one company, one small company in Chicago where I interned. But this is very important. With great attitude and hopefully great work, it will bring you far. So from that one company, the company itself is kind of slowing down and getting very small kind of things. But the people there who knows me, they jump to other companies, other bigger companies. And since I did a good job for them before, they started to contacted me and then give me jobs from their new companies. And basically that's what happened to me in the last like 15 years. So I think that's good attitude will bring you far.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Great attitude with great work will get you far.
Yes.
Okay, so I will ask the CBM Secretariat to probably give a link or email for those who still have a lot of questions for our speakers, so they can send their questions to them directly. Okay, so I think that wraps up our question and answer portion. Thank you so much again to Mr. Robert Jenkins, to Nini Tui, and to Chris Lee. Please still, stay with us until the end of this session. In this challenging time, so we can actually use our creativity to help others be more caring and be more loving, help others like families and friends, and even businesses in needs, small and local businesses especially. Okay, so we promised you earlier that we will have the digital raffle, or did I mention that earlier? I hope I did mention, but we're going to have a digital raffle, a treat for all those who registered and still with us today. Here is how we will pick the lucky winners of 5 Huion tablets. Yes, you heard it right, 5 Huion tablets. We will pick the lucky winners of 5 Huion tablets just for today. We will be using the willofnames.com application. And for those of you who registered to the event, your name with a company name will be included in the roulette. Okay, so I'm sure everyone is praying and ready to see their names appear in the raffle draw, right? Okay, so we will first draw 2 winners from Indonesia. Is that correct? We will get 2 winners from Indonesia and 2 from Myanmar and 1 for the Philippines. So don't worry if you don't get lucky today. You still have a chance on our next event, the part 2 of this event. All right, this is exciting. Can we show now our will of name? Oh, okay, there it is. Okay, so can we spin a win? Okay, congratulations, Bara Adyaksa of Huion BIC Indonesia. I hope she's still here.
Mikey,
Yes.
Mikey, this happened to be our Huion authorized distributor. Our Huion authorized distributor, he is the business manager of BIC, Mr. Bara. I think I will override him because since we are Huion partners, I think we should release the price. I think Bara will agree. Will agree with me. Bara, don't scold me behind. You have plenty of tablets from me. So I think we should release this product back to CBM and do one more round of spin
All
again.
right.
How about that?
I love that. More chances of winning. So let's
Thank you.
spin a win. We have the first winner. It's Yesa Tirastomo from Indonesia. I hope Yesa is still with us. You are the first lucky winner of one Huion tablet. We'll draw again another name for Indonesia. Spin a win. Sari Ayuni. Wow, lucky you. You just got your Huion tablet. Okay, so we will draw 3 more. This time is 2 from Myanmar. Correct? Spin a win. I hope I'm pronouncing the names right. It's Kun Kiao Tiha. Congratulations. Another winner. Spin a win. Hey, it's Soe, if I'm not pronouncing the names right. Okay, congratulations. Now we have 4 now, so just one more winner from the Philippines. Spin a win. Congratulations, Kent Ryan Goodmanin from the University of San Carlos, Cebu. Congratulations. All right, to the winners, let's give them another round of applause. All right, kindly wait for the CBM Secretariat to get in touch with you on how to claim your prizes. Again, a big hand to all our guests and speakers today. And we will see you again next Saturday, October 3, for the part 2 of the Digital Creative Summit, Bring It Online. So to those who missed the activities earlier, you can check later the FB Live replay in the official FB pages of the Cebu Chamber of Commerce and the Cebu Business Month. I even encourage you to actually share to your timeline and just keep on spreading good vibes. So once again, congratulations to the CBM Digital Creative Summit team for a successful part 1. See you all again next week, next Saturday. Good day and stay blessed, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Imagine having technology that lets you grow your business right at your fingertips, where a single click can give you full access to your business and to the world. No need to imagine further. At Eastern Communications, we take care of your IT needs while you focus on what matters most to your business. Our business products and services are specifically designed to guarantee your business success in lesser time. Experience seamless business-to-business data exchange throughout the country and the world with our reliable data services. Our domestic data services ensure you with a stable delivery of private data across internal organizations and remote branches. If you're expanding business horizons, our international data services are perfect in securing private exchange of data between domestic and international sites. Whatever your internet needs, our customized packages got you covered for a smooth running operation and easier access to various applications. With our dedicated internet services, varying bandwidth needs and network delays will never be a problem anymore because we provide businesses with the best routes to ensure high-speed connectivity. If you are performing basic business operations, our shared internet services provide the stable and consistent connectivity that you need. Transform the way your business communicates, whether through our traditional voice services or modern voice solutions. When you upgrade your voice operations to IP-based telephony, you can instantly accelerate transactions and manage calls cost-effectively. But if you're looking for something simple and practical, nothing can go wrong with traditional telephony, which can handle